K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hung over from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. And a good, easy Super Bowl Sunday morning, February 6, 2016, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means it's time for JD and Stacy and Bloody Marys and Broadsheets, baby. Your cure for that mainstream media hangover here on K98 Talk. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Statistically, this is the biggest day of domestic violence in the country. So, ladies, pray your baby wins his bets tonight. Everybody within the sound of my voice, you know what to do. Get over to that K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacy. Say hello to the drunkest, acid-takingest, nakedest, smartest political morning Sunday radio audience in the business. Today's going to be a good game, baby. Maybe even a bloody Sunday, Stacy. What do you think?
I don't know.
All right. You two is into different football, but not a bad way to start Super Bowl Sunday, right?
I don't know. I see a lot of butt time today.
Do what now?
A lot of butt time, just like in the Patriots game. I see quarterbacks getting sat on their butt all day long.
That's right, baby. Super Bowl Sunday. Bloody Super Bowl Sunday. Remember, ladies, wear your helmets and duck. This morning, we've got Weekend Update, post-debate analysis and breakdown, Super Bowl trivia and more. Remember, guys, we're not just live here Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. for that Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. We do it again live Tuesday, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in that K98 Talk for Game On. Sundays, drive time, 5 p.m. WNJC. Stacey and I are part of that Conservative Commandos radio network with that Rick Trader. Everybody right now, start making your reservations. March 2nd to the 6th. Get down to National Harbor, Maryland, Gaylord Hotel. Come down to that CPAC 2016, baby. See Stacey and I. Meet the K98 Talk crew, the WNJC family. They're down on Radio Row. Check out Spreaker.com, hashtag JDANDSTACEY. Why? Michael Loftus' interview from Thursday night was absolutely phenomenal. He's in the middle of wrapping up the second season, going on to the third. Things are just getting bigger and better for him. He may be down to CPAC. That's a little tease. And we want to congratulate, got a little capitalism going on, so I've been a little out of it. I wanted to congratulate Mr. Eric Williams of that barbedwiresatire.com. Eric's been working with Stacey and I just over a year, and if I have it correctly, I think last month was his best month in traffic over at barbedwiresatire.com. That's that Eric Williams, baby, the man who brings you that weekend update every morning. So we wanted to congratulate him, thank him for all the work product he churns out, and honestly, just for being a fantastic human being and a friend of the show. Good morning, baby.
Good morning.
You ready for your
How
Super
are
Bowl
you?
Sunday? Good. You know what? I can't. I've been getting ready because this is the first time since Super Bowl III. No. I can dream, can't I?
Put down the whiskey. Put down the pipe.
We would like to congratulate, though. We do want to congratulate Cam Newton. Last night, the NFL actually. The NFL has always done awards, but as the league and the business of it all grows bigger, it's gotten a little bit like the Oscars. And last night, Cam Newton was awarded the NFL's MVP, Most Valuable Player of the Year, and also the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. And I've been thinking a lot about Cam Newton, and you hear a lot about how he's got these God-gifted abilities, which he does. You hear about all his success at all these different levels, which he has had. But if you ever have an opportunity, get a chance to listen to the gentleman speak, because I think that he really is the perfect example of finding whatever kind of innate talents and gifts that you have personally, and they don't have to be athletic, and cultivating them and developing them to just be the best that you could possibly be. And the way that I was thinking about it, if any one of our presidential candidates handled and comported themselves in their candidacy the way that Cam Newton has approached the game of football, both at the college and professional levels, you'd never see another Democrat again in the White House. But that does not seem to be how it's going to happen. But before we get all depressed about everything that's going on, baby, we're going to bring you that weekend update from that Mr. Eric Williams at that barbedwiresatire.com, baby. It's for the weekend of February 7th, 2016. The world was rocked this week by the news that liberal nutcase Lena Dunham was quitting Twitter until they instituted protections for women. So Twitter execs are looking into a variety of new guidelines. There's a joke in there somewhere, but the words are too big, Lord. Go. Number 2.
Hillary Clinton was happy to leave godforsaken Iowa in her rearview mirror this week. On her way out of the state, she was overheard telling Uma that was a stroke of genius having Debbie Wasserman Schultz personally handle all 6 of those coin toss tiebreakers. What?
Oma, where's my soup? Oma, I made a boo-boo with my diaper. The unhinging of Donald Trump was on display this week as the billionaire couldn't accept his second-place finish in Iowa. His ranting about Ted Cruz, combined with his tan, had many thinking they were watching a scene from Clockwork Orange. Tuesday will tell us if his temper tantrums will affect his results in New Hampshire.
Trump had a Freudian slip following the Iowa caucuses when he tweeted to Cruz, "Congratulations, Ted, on your win in Ottawa." He tweeted a correction soon after, saying he meant Iowa, and then tried to blame the error on autocorrect.
Today's game, folks, is to find out if one of these are actually funny. During the Democrats' debate this week, Hillary became angry when telling Bernie to stop his schmear campaign against her. Hillary said, "I am the queen of schmear, and nobody does it better than me. But I also have very thin skin, so just because I'm a whore of Wall Street," I didn't think the quote would be this long, Williams. I would appreciate it if you and your people would stop bringing it up.
Also during the debate, Hillary squirmed when asked if she would release the transcripts of her speeches to Goldman Sachs. She said she might release them as confetti someday after they'd been put through her shredder 10 times. Then she said, as far as she can remember, she only talked to them about Chelsea's wedding and yoga.
Oma, where's my soup? Members of Black Lives Matter and liberal media joined hands this week in mourning what would have been Trayvon Martin. Jesus Christ, William. I'm thinking I'm going to like it because we're talking about a dead kid's 21st birthday. Members of Black Lives Matter and the liberal media joined hands this week in mourning what would have been Trayvon Martin's 21st birthday. They shared their sadness about what could have been as they speculated on the amount of weed he missed out on smoking, the homies he didn't get to pop a cap into, and the years in prison he will never get to enjoy.
Wow. President Obama lied his butt off, as usual, in his speech at a mosque in Baltimore. He spewed propaganda right and left in his attempt to draw parallels between Islam and Christianity. He closed his remarks by reminding everyone that Islam is a religion of peace and that Allahu Akbar, properly translated, means Obama the Great.
Williams, I apologize for everything I ever said. That first to last joke is so good, it's getting its own lead-up theme song, and I'm doing it again.
Oh, God.
Ho, ho, ho! Write your letters to the FCC now, baby. Members of Black Lives Matter and the liberal media joined hands this week in mourning what would have been Trayvon Martin's 21st birthday. They shared their sadness about what could have been as they speculated on the amount of weed he missed out on smoking, the homies he didn't get to pop a cap into, and the years in prison he will never get to enjoy, baby. Bring it home. And that, baby, was your weekend update for the weekend of February 7th, 2016. Write all your letters to that Mr. Eric Williams at barbedwiresatire.com, baby. Oh, my God, I'm still recovering from the Trayvon Martin joke.
Dude, I thought you were going to have a stroke, like, right there.
Oh, God in heaven. You know, as somebody who likes the ponies, that was one of those you're just about to tear your ticket up. The race was not what you wanted, and all of a sudden, coming out of that third turn, bang, here comes the winner, baby. Ooh, that even gets a...
Okay, terrific.
I can't wait to hear a certain fan from the Long Island's comments about that one.
That fan is not awake.
Oh, he's not awake? He'll listen to the replay,
well,
though.
you know what, though, maybe. He's having normalcy with the...
There is nothing normal in Long Beach ever.
Oh, my God. All right, so Stacey and I have two clips that completely sum up last night's debate.
I'm over here now. You see, that's a professional. You didn't even see what I just did you, honey? I'm over here now. I was over there. Now I'm over here. That's a professional. You know, another guy comes up here, he gets all drops the mic, trips over, not me. I'm over there, and now I came over here, but then I backed up, now I'm over here. You see what I'm saying?
That was one answer, and the other answer we heard last night.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I mean, I honestly thought last night was the worst of all of the debates we've seen up to this point.
Yeah, you know, it to me it channeled the CNBC debate, but I think things after Iowa had gotten so much more contentious between the Cruz camp and the Carson camp, and then, you know, Trump white knighting for Carson after he called him a crappy surgeon and a felon, and then, you know, Christie and Jeb teaming up to, you know, go after Rubio and his record and, you know, that kind of nastiness. I think there was so much more conflict out there in the field that ABC actually went, wah, and just kind of let it roll The moderators in the first half of that debate had no control whatsoever, and I think it was purposeful.
You know what? It's funny, to your point that it was purposeful. Is the only two. And it's almost like they kept them hidden and under wraps. They had Mary Catherine Ham from Mary Catherine Ham from Hot Air, and
and she asked some great questions, but she was over in the corner.
They had Mary Catherine Ham from Hot Air, and they had Larry O'Connor from IJ Review and WMAL, but the Mary Catherine Ham didn't get to ask a question until an hour into the debate. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Mary Catherine Ham, she has this phenomenal wingman, and I think you should find him on social media if you don't follow him. His name is Guy P. Benson.
Yay, Guy!
Mary Catherine and Guy wrote a book together, and we were lucky enough to have Guy come on and speak about the book. Guy, in and of his own right, is one of the better political journalists that are out there. And he must have been at the debate last night. And he actually sent out about 15 or 20 minutes after the debate wrapped up. And he was in the men's room. And these were literal quotes from mainstream journalists. Mainstream journalists. This is not attendees out there. These are journalists. So these are the people that moderate these things, the people that are going to be telling you the narrative of what happened last night. And two of the quotes that he had was, one of them was that they thought the moderators should have, quote, let Christie sit on Rubio more. And then they were actually pissing and moaning about the tone and tenor of what were really the only serious questions of the night from Mary Catherine Ham. They were not gotcha questions by any sense of the imagination. I thought that there was no flow to the debate questions. And for those of you who don't think that the RNC is feckless and that the media doesn't have their thumb on the scale, and they put it right in your face, two things struck me about last night's debate. And in segment 2, we'll go over some of the details about it and how that's going to affect the upcoming race. But two things jumped out at me. So they have these metrics now because every debate is teamed with Google or YouTube or Facebook or what have you. And they showed the top 5 concerns of Republican primary voters as they would see it through the Google search metric. None of the questions in whole last night really touched on any of those categories. It was close to a 3-hour debate that really never touched on the economy.
Well, and I heard commentators this morning that this is the 8th debate on the Republican side that hasn't really gone in depth on the economy. It's so focused on national security. And when you get to these leftist media outlets, of course, we got back to abortion yesterday, which to me,
Though Marco Rubio's answer
whatever.
On that,
it's not a huge thing I'm going to vote on. I thought Rubio's answer to it was outstanding, by the way, as far as how to handle that question. But when you flip on ABC and the first thing you see is George Stephanopoulos and Donna Brazile, could there be any more biased commentators in the entire media?
But I mean that is Donna Brazile. I don't know if she still is, but she's a voting DNC member for delegates at the presidential convention. I've heard her say this before. I mean, she's not a liberal pundit. She is a party machine hack and hitman. And then
only that, but when you turned on the initial commentary, they're talking about Hillary and Bernie. I'm like, shut up.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Selena Zito. I have got to find this. I don't know if SNL puts their stuff up on YouTube. I have got to tell you something. I disagree with every policy position the man stands for. I would go on a road trip with Uncle Speedo. If what I saw was correct last night, Bernie Sanders, I think, was on SNL. And
my God.
Selena Zito.
They weren't just mocking you. They weren't just parodying him.
Stacey, Bernie Sanders was the funniest thing to be on Saturday Night Live since Eddie Murphy. There was a skit. I got to go back to Selena's timeline. It looks like she took it off the TV. Bernie Sanders, oh my God, is dressed up like a turn-of-the-century Irish immigrant. And he's on a steamship with this other Irish immigrant. Oh, okay, laddie, where are you going to? What's your name? And he goes, and this is Bernie Sanders. He's like, oh, me name is Bernie Sanders Whiskey. And the guy's like, but Jesus, your name is Bernie Sanders Whiskey? Yes, I am changing it to Bernie Sanders Whiskey because coming to America, it sounds less Jewish. It is the funniest. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
I am telling you, he is a card-carrying socialist, but I'm going to tell you something. There are some people running.
Oh, no, I'd have a beer with Uncle Speedo.
Here's the thing. There are some people running on our side, on the Republican side, that I honestly don't think are good people. I actually think they're awful people. That Uncle Speedo, baby, that Bernie Sanders, I don't. I don't. He doesn't have me embracing socialism, but, man, when you just see a decent human being, and you know what? He looks so good because she's such a skellbag. All right, coming back up.
Did you see that movie they dug up that he was in? My Ex-Girlfriend's Wedding, where he played the rabbi?
No,
that was some funny stuff, too.
Let's do that. Let's do that in segment 2. We'll take some of the best moments and shots of last night. We'll tell you why the media is going to lie to you about on Monday. We're going to tell you what we think is going to happen on Tuesday. And then in segment 3, we're going to play some trivia for today, baby, for that Super Bowl. Stacey and I are going to take a break. Diamond Dave going to take us out. JD and Stacey, Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. K98 Talk, baby.
One break coming up.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
The staff of K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network is proud to announce that our very own Rowdy Rick Robinson has been selected as one of the top conservative talk show hosts in the nation for his program America Off the Rails. Again, congratulations to Rowdy Rick Robinson for a job well done and another reason to stay connected to K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama's speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
From the Vikings of Norway to my home down south to Washington, D.C., I've been around. I've seen it all, and I've come out on top. You better beware, for all you know, the bell tolls for you. Enter the bell tower or watch your step. 8 p.m. Thursdays, K98 Talk.
K98Talk.com, a leader in Internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98Talk.com.
Hey, welcome back to Spilling Coffee, because I'm not a morning person radio. JD and Stacey here, Bloody Marys and Broadsheets on that K98 Talk. Everybody within the sound of my very morning voice, you know what to do. Get over to K98Talk.org right now. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the smartest, drunkest, nakedest political listening audience in the business. Some issues with the server, guys, so when you get over to that K98Talk.org, I think you got to go down to the bottom of the page. Get on that Spreaker Live link. Check out Stacey and I. We're not just here live Sunday, 11 a.m. We do it again Tuesday, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. for that Game On, baby, on K98 Talk. Friday, 5 p.m. drive time, WNJC, 1360 a.m. Philadelphia. Stacey and I proud to bring Game On to that Conservative Commandos radio network. Get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey after the show, not during it, Hooples. Check out a catalog of everything we've been doing here with that Ricky Ticky Tavi Rick Robinson, including our interview this past Thursday evening with Michael Loftus of that Flipside Show. You get over to FlipsideShow.com. Get the channel finder. They don't have that channel for you, baby. Your cable provider. You put on that suicide vest. You all go all Fallujah and bang to that Cox Company cable. Stick around, guys, as we come into the noon o'clock hour. We got Lou Bell and Dr. Randy Arrington going to be taking over for us, taking you into the 1 o'clock hour here on Super Bowl Sunday for them office hours. Welcome back, baby.
Hey, can I just add a little bit to the Flipside Loftus show, if that's okay?
Sure.
Got notification yesterday that Tim Allen, one of the only folks with a somewhat right-leaning situation comedy on a major network, has been canceled. So that truly does leave Michael and his show and his brand as the only one answering what is now 7 folks out there mocking conservatives and Republicans on a regular basis. So any help and support you can get in spreading the word so that we can get that positioned where it should be on a regular time slot on a large station would be much appreciated.
And not just the Flipside Show. If you enjoy Michael Loftus and the Flipside Show, you've got to check out his brand newest podcast called The Loftus Party, baby. You can be found out here on Tuesday nights on that K98 Talk. Michael will be joining us next week as part of that K98 Talk family. Pretty soon we're going to be seeing him going satellite, stratospheric throughout the world, baby. Okay. So let's circle back to, we had ended the first segment really speaking about the moderators, and if I'm correct, and I am doing this straight from memory, from the last election cycle, isn't Martha Raddatz of Jesus Christ? Take 3! Isn't Martha Raddatz of ABC, who was one of the debate moderators last night, she's married to Janowski, who was this administration's FCC commissioner at one point, correct?
Oh, JD, you have such a memory for things like that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she was, but what have you? I mean, this goes back to the fecklessness of the RNC, of Rance Priebus, of the donor political Washington establishment class. There is no way that debate should have been held on ABC with those moderators. The optics, to Stacey's point, coming out of the first segment were just awful. You have Matt Dowd. Matt Dowd was, I think he was a Bushy in the first administration who ended up becoming a journo, and everybody takes Matt as the token Republican. He's not. He's not. He's become a progressive Democrat. I mean, did you see – let me back up. We're going to go into their performances in a second. Did you see one question? Can you recall one single question from those moderators that basically served any kind of purpose or was to inform rather than to perpetuate a narrative?
The narrative that I saw being perpetuated was, let's make sure these guys poke each other in the eye as many times as possible. You know, as far as the narrative goes, you know, it's to the point, JD, I almost can't tell who the left is really trying to prop up.
Well, I think in this case you can see it. It's the governors. I mean, you had the New York Times making their endorsements last week for the primaries on the Republican side. They endorsed John Kasich. What you've heard
because he's a Democrat.
Right, but what you've heard from the press clamoring from Iowa, the press thinks that everybody in Iowa are rubes. So it's this conservative, as far as the press is concerned, outlier. They want to go to New Hampshire where they feel people are more inclined with secular values, people who are more inclined to toe the mainstream media line. So the narrative that the media has been dying to set up coming into this weekend, and you saw it all this week leading up, was that it had to be a tale of the governors. It had to be a tale of the governors because if Kasich, Christie, or Jeb didn't have a first, second, or third showing there, then none of them get their ticket punched out of New Hampshire except Jeb, who has enough money to go on.
Money.
Right, exactly. But so you had this Main Street, basically circle jerk orgasmically wishing for the governors. Then what happens? You're going to hear the narrative that is brought forth and perpetuated of Marco Rubio giving the same answers 4 times in last night's debate. I think if you look at the breakdown, he answered it at 8:32, 8:34, 8:38, and then like 8:42 or something like that. But if you,
I think the first time he answered it was well placed.
I wasn't finished speaking.
Yeah.
What I was saying is, I don't think though the story and the narrative that's going to come out of this is all you've heard on the morning shows and last night in the debate analysis that, oh my God, that was his Dan Quayle moment against Lloyd Benson. And I don't think it was that bad for him because my take on it was he actually had a pretty good debate. You?
Yeah, like I said, I thought he did a great question versus pro-life. He turned it right back on the Democrats to say who really is the extreme party. I think, in that case, Mary Catherine Ham also framed a very good question. I also think he had a great answer on ISIS containment. And I thought his answer on taxes, when confronted with 68% of Americans believe people who make over X should, be taxed at a higher rate. What do you think? I thought his explanation there was really solid.
Yeah, well, 73% of Americans think that Elvis killed JFK, too, so.
Yeah, I know. We just got to stop polling everybody. I think you should have to take a basic test to take a poll. But
I think that, would you agree with me that the narrative, and this is how I take this, and I was even listening to a lot of the conservative pundits last night. Britt Hume, this was his Dan Quayle moment speaking about Rubio. Charles Krauthammer has put a stake in Rubio and has put him out to pasture and has put him to death. And I just don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think that's going to happen for a variety of reasons. Number one, this debate was on the Saturday night before the Super Bowl, okay? So not that many people were viewing the debate. That being said, outside of Stacey, myself, and some of the listening audience, your average, even politically inclined person is not going to sit through a 3-hour debate like that in full force. And what I saw last night is I think that the media is going to do their level best, and I think it's going to be hard, Stacey, because what I think you tell me what you think about this theory. What I think the press wanted to do after Saturday night's debate was to create and run on loop a narrative that Rubio's whole debate performance came back to the same canned answer 4 times. That was the only takeaway. He's too young and inexperienced and wanted this to run on loop in New Hampshire. What I think is going to be a problem with that strategy is that the Super Bowl today is going to eclipse and eat tomorrow's entire news cycle, and you're going to start voting Tuesday morning. So, again, I had said this. I had broke a little math down in a group that Stacey and I are in with some people we respect politically. And if the same metrics hold that happened in New Hampshire, if you take a look, 25% of what was polled as Donald Trump's committed support stayed home in Iowa. So if you take a look on a downward trajectory, Donald Trump right now is polling, depending on what you look at in New Hampshire, 28-ish. So if the same 25% of solid support stayed home in New Hampshire, the way that it did in Iowa, 25% of that 28% is 7%. That brings him down to 21% and effectively locks Rubio and Trump in a tie for second, with Trump's numbers on a downward trajectory and Rubio's on an upswing. And my take from it is that the media wanted to run that debate narrative to death to try and stop that. What is your take on that?
I guess I would kind of agree with that. I mean, even Georgie and Donna were saying, oh, yeah, are the most scared of. And he's said that all along. And even his hit commercials are kind of positive at the end when he puts that out there.
Who, Marco?
I think the other interesting thing that you always have to keep in mind, and I don't think the pundits give it enough credence is people's relative likability ratings. Donald Trump's unlikables are astounding. Chris Christie's aren't much better. So when you have Christie getting all blustery with Marco Rubio, whose likability is relative, I think he's actually the highest in the field, followed by Carly Fiorina. People watch that exchange and look at Christie and go, God, what a jerk. Because the automatic blame assignment when you look at something like that is for the person you like the least. Now, the other thing I will say, the first time Marco Rubio said that, I was actually, his famous little thing there that they're now putting on loop. I was sitting at home cheering.
Explain to the audience what it was.
Basically, he was saying that if you think Barack Obama doesn't know exactly what he's doing, you don't understand what we're facing. So you hear Donald Trump with all his bluster and, blah, 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 everybody's stupid and everybody's an idiot. I don't think by any stretch of the mark that Barack Obama is an idiot, nor are most of the people in his administration. What they are doing very deliberately. They have deliberately distanced us from Israel. They have deliberately given up, our influence and ability to affect things in the Middle East. They have deliberately made our borders insecure. They have deliberately done so many things. Those are not accidents, and it's not because they're dumb. And if you take a look at Trump's rhetoric, Rubio was actually trying to counter that to say, no, you don't understand. This is all very deliberate. These people aren't you don't like the outcome. It doesn't mean they're stupid. Their agenda is just wrong.
No, I agree. And then if you take a look, Donald Trump always likes to point to social media, after a debate. And, I swept social media left, right, and center last night for a while after the debate. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, the people that I found most vocal last night were Cruz supporters. And, I think that with this dynamic, because we spent, and again, the reason Stacey and I spent so much time on the Rubio performance and what you're going to hear is because that's going to be the narrative. It's already started coming out of the New Hampshire debate from the media. But to circle back and go to the other candidates, I kept hearing, and again, this is from the media, who likes establishment, milquetoasts. I heard that last night was a night for the governors. And yes, I mean, if you were scoring this in a series of debates, you could say that. But I don't see anything last night that really changed the trajectory of this race. I think that Cruz didn't do any damage to himself. I don't think that Rubio did the damage that the press is saying. I still think that he's going to be a very close second in New Hampshire, if not steal it outright from Donald Trump. And I think that what supporters have to realize is that because Trump didn't show up to the last debate, and there was a moment or two that seemed to be seminal, and some people hit on and some people turned, and Rubio had this surge. Well, now, to go back to the Super Bowl, it's like every team wanting a quarterback like Cam Newton now. So every debate, people who support their candidate or whatever, they're looking for that one moment, right? Those moments are very rare, and it's not what's going to hinge an election. So like I said, I thought Cruz was presidential, but I didn't see any moments in there where anybody put this race away. I do think that if Trump ekes this out after the lead he came in with or outright loses on Tuesday, I do think he'll go on for a while, but I think that that'll be the end of the circus slideshow. And just for my 2 cents, look, politics is not beanbag. If you're a Ben Carson fan, I'm sure you're worked up over what the Cruz campaign did. Is it a little distasteful? Yes, but it's politics, and I've got to tell you something. I hate to say this because I like the man. There were no dirty tricks played when Ben Carson last night goes, I can't believe he said that, and that's crazy, and I will be going to Florida. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's going to go anyway. We got 30 seconds. Take us out.
Well, I was just going to highlight the fact that I think South Carolina is going to be a game changer for a couple people. We got a couple pretty heavy-hitting endorsements there. But the one thing to me that is becoming patently clear, Trump does not want to spend his own money. Right now, he has spent no more out of his companies than what he has made selling those stupid hats.
But we've said that before. Especially if he remains the nominal front runner, he's going to have not only going to have multiple candidate money coming at him, but he's going to have multiple super PAC money coming at him. And when those super PAC starts, because they're not affiliated with I'm telling you, the ones that get really nasty with him, like the one that's run by somebody like me who's like, Donald Trump has seen a lot of beautiful Mexicans go through his wife's door, and that's why he wants a wall. Some of those commercials are coming, and I really think the meltdown on his side will be epic. But we could be wrong. We'll see. That's the great thing about American politics. You never know, baby. And don't think, Stacey, I didn't miss what you just did. I didn't miss what you just did. She did that all subliminal. She was going to say patently, but she said patently. She said patently. She's trying to put that Peyton Manning out into the ether, baby. Help him win that Super Bowl against that Cam Newton. I think it's going to be a great game. We're going to take a break, pay some bills here on K98 Talk. JD and Stacey coming back with Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. Little surprise for you in the third segment coming into the top of the 12 o'clock hour. And don't forget to stay tuned for that Lou and Dr. A, baby. Coming right back.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in...
listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script.
I know he doesn't do his show anymore. I got to change the ads.
Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green.
He does put out a podcast, though.
Did someone say green?
I still got to
Al
change.
Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind?
Now, do you say good things about me on the show?
No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much.
The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation.
Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo?
I got a pen. I can veto that,
I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it.
Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either.
That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Welcome back to the third only is coming into the top of the 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time noon hour, a segment here on Bloody Marys and Broadsheets with JD and Stacey on that K98 Talk. Everybody get over to K98Talk.org right now. Say hello to Stacey. Get ready for Super Bowl Sunday, baby. Listen, we did the political contest. We did this. We did that. I just want everybody to focus on the fact that today is a very special national holiday. And after today, there will be a whole bunch of college girls that return from Super Bowl parties that are no longer
virgin.
That's right, baby.
Oh, come on.
But Stacey,
did you see that other link I sent you?
Which one? Oh, so,
Michael Moore's in the hospital, so he can't promote what to invade next. The only thing Michael Moore's going to invade is a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Can't stand that dude.
What's he in the hospital for?
Pneumonia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what they said Jim Henson died of as well.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think he could get any fatter.
Oh, my
God. If you haven't seen this commercial for his newest movie, and I'm going to see the Coen brothers, I'm not going to see Michael Moore's latest but he's like a third larger than he was the last time I saw him, like, full on video.
Totally.
I was like, oh my God.
Totally.
It just doesn't stop.
Totally healthy rich people in Hollywood who suddenly get hospitalized for pneumonia is secret code for
3 simple words. I am gay.
But we either have the sheriff riding off into the sunset today, or we got Cam Newton going to start a streak of what I think might be a bunch of Super Bowls, baby. So we're going to have a badass game that deserves some badass Super Bowl music. Wouldn't it be great if GNR was at the halftime show?
Oh, that would be so much better than it. Isn't it Lady Gaga or something?
Yeah, so we might as well enjoy some good music while we can.
Guns N' Roses won't play together anymore because Axl Rose is insane.
No, they're trying to do another tour. They have one coming up.
As long as Axl's medicated.
Cam Newton. Peyton Manning. Super Bowl 50, JD and Stacey style, baby. All right, now I'm ready for the big game. All right. So let's do predictions first. What do you see happening today and why?
I think that Peyton Manning really wants to do this, having seen him interviewed. I think there's a lot of heart there. I think Cam Newton is an outstanding young quarterback. I think it's going to be a heavy defensive game. I will be rooting for the guy who's going to retire because I always will. Last shot at the ring. But I'm very torn. I think it's going to have everything to do with momentum.
I completely agree, and I honestly think that this is one of those few Super Bowls in history that nobody can lose. If you cannot find somebody to root for in this game, you are ISIS, and you should just go step out in the middle of traffic. I mean, you have who is arguably one of the greatest players, not only to play his position, but to play the game of professional football in Peyton Manning. You have on the other side of the ball, in the close to 100-year history of the National Football League and the American Football League before the merger, including the 50-year history of the Super Bowl, the world has never seen an athlete or a quarterback like Cam Newton. He's not just once in a generation. He may be once in a lifetime. I think that tonight really is going to
JD has a man crush.
No, I just think that tonight is really going to be a crowning achievement for the National Football League for the way that they have developed and promoted this league, because I honestly think that Roman gladiator Coliseum thumbs up, thumbs down style, that tonight has the probability or opportunity to be one of the better sporting events ever seen.
The playoffs were pretty fantastic with the exception of maybe one game.
And
it was just a blowout. I think it was the Steelers.
And I think that the coaches of both of these teams have been nothing but class acts, both with Ron Rivera and Gary Kubiak. And this whole week, remember the funniest thing was it Darren Sharper. I hope I don't sell. I think it was somebody in the chat room. Correct me if I was wrong. I think it was Darren Sharper. The last time the Falcons were in the Super Bowl, he got an award the night before the Super Bowl as, like, the man of the year for the NFL, like the good guy award. Like, this is the best guy, and then couldn't play in the game the next day because he was picked up that night picking up and soliciting a hooker.
Oh, neat.
Swear to you.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.
And then there's been years.
But do you know what makes me super happy?
What?
Do you know who's not in the Super Bowl this year?
Oh!
No. I'm not picking on you. I am picking on
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Yay!
Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, for every New England Patriot fan in the country, please do me a favor. Put your ear up next to the speaker, because Stacey and I would like to describe you so succinctly.
Vaginas.
Okay, so
Sorry, Diane. Glad Donna's not in the chat room.
I think that you have two good teams, honestly, full of professionals, because now there's a 2-week gap between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, and there's always a story of somebody getting sent home for some reason, or this, that, and the other nonsense, and there hasn't been. The only news stories this week have been about both of the teams, both of these phenomenal quarterbacks. Some of the older guys in the league, guys that if you're not big fans, Aqib Talib, he plays for the Broncos. He's won a couple with the Patriots. He's in the twilight of his career. DeMarcus Ware, believe it or not, who I'm pretty sure they had taken over from the Cowboys, who's now on the Broncos. He's just had a wonderful career. Most likely going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be in his first show tonight. I mean, it's just a really good news story. The Hall of Fame. Oh, they did the Hall of Fame class yesterday. Brett Favre, no-brainer. Orlando Pace, where I would like to give a very special shout-out. People who are sports fans will remember him from about 20 or 25 years ago. He's not a household name, but this is a man who should have went to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He is a guy who literally influenced the way that I played, and I tried to emulate somewhat when I was in college, and that's Kevin Green. And it was so nice to see him finally get inducted last night. But Stacey and I wanted, before we close out, we got about 4 or 5 minutes here. Are we doing this for the chat room, or are you and I playing for ourselves here? We got a little football
We can
trivia.
play for ourselves, but the chat room can play along.
All right, you want to... All right, I'm going to start you with a medium.
No.
Yes.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
I can't go back. You'll get this. Which of the following running backs has never been named a Super Bowl MVP? Thurman Thomas, Terrell Davis, John Riggins, or Larry Zonka?
I have no idea.
I'm going to say Thurman Thomas. And the answer was Thurman Thomas! Yay! Where's my bell?
All right. So I picked extra difficult for you.
Did you really?
I did, because you went up a notch. I went up a notch.
I got you to... All right,
All right. Which player nicknamed the Diesel was named the MVP of Super Bowl 17? Joe Theismann, Art Monk, Charlie Brown, or John Riggins?
John Riggins.
You're right.
I'll give JD the bell. You know what? And you go, what did you say? Super Bowl 17?
Yeah.
I was 8. Okay, next question. Next question for you, darling. And the chat room. Play along, kids. Who is the only player to return the opening kickoff in a Super Bowl for a touchdown? Desmond Howard, Tim Dwight, Devin Hester, Jermaine Lewis. This is not an easy question.
Who was the first one you said?
Desmond Howard, Tim Dwight, Devin Hester, or Jermaine Lewis?
I'm going to go with Devin Hester.
You know, it's either Desmond Howard or Devin Hester. Before we check the answer, somebody in the chat room take a shot at this. 1, 2.
There's a 15-second delay, dude.
I'm saying Devin Hester. Oh, Desmond Howard, your father said, so let's see.
Yeah, he's never wrong.
Devin Hester! You and I beat your dad! Gotcha, Sandy. All right, I like this, Stace. What do you got?
No,
next?
that was great because when we played Trivial Pursuit when I was younger, Dad would always win the whole thing on the sports and leisure question. One day he's ready to win, and he got a question on knitting, so that became the sports and knitting category. He was so pissed. It was hysterical.
He just lost this one. All right, go. Hold on. So you and I, we got this. And so far, Sandy's got this.
Who was the MVP of Super Bowl 25, where the New York Giants defeated the Buffalo Bills, also called Boy, I Love Losing Super Bowls? Lawrence Taylor, Otis Anderson, Phil Simms, or Mark Bavaro?
I just heard Simms and Esiason talking about this, and I can't remember if he's got a Super Bowl MVP or whether it was. I'm going to go Otis. I think it's Phil Simms, but I'm going to go Otis Anderson just to be different.
That's correct.
I remember he had a good game that day in Russian. JD's killing it. I love it. All right, let's see. All right, next question. What team won Super Bowl 33? So that was for the 1998 season. The Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers, or the Falcons?
49ers.
I'm going to say I'm pretty sure it's the Broncos.
Oh, crap. I was thinking 88. God, no. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm thinking 88.
All right, babe. Hold on. Last question. We got to punch out. You got the last question here.
What Super Bowl has the record for the highest attendance? Super Bowl, 15 in Arlington, Super Bowl 31 in New Orleans, Super Bowl 28 in Atlanta, or Super Bowl 14 in Pasadena?
I think the one I'm going to say the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
No, yes, actually, you are like 3 for 3. Are you looking at the questions?
No, I'm not, because we have different questions. Hurry up, we got to punch out. Give us a prediction and a score for the game today.
Oh God, I can't even.
Hurry up!
Oh my God, I'm gonna say Broncos by 3.
2017, either the Panthers or the Broncos are going to win. JD and Stacey loving up on everybody here. Enjoy the game, baby. We're going to see you Tuesday. Tell the nice people where to find you.
Well, you can generally find me on social media and a couple of other really neat places. So I don't do bar stools and seedy alleyways, though.
Those neat places are a lot more exciting than you think, folks. You can find her at Scott's Fire, F-Y-R-E on the Twitters. Find me at Game On JD, and if I remember right, I think they say it at the end of this outro. If we live through it, we'll see you Tuesday, guys. Enjoy the game. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
Thank you for taking it easy with us. You can find our show account on Twitter at JD and Stacey, or send us your interesting news story of the week to Game On War, that's WAAR, @gmail.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at Scott's Fire and on Facebook at Stacey Lennox.
And you can find me on the Twitters at GameOnJD.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com. If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.